Welcome back, lovely members. I am joined today by a special guest. With me here in downtown Zurich is the Right Honorable Leah Claar, who you all know from our community at Viewfinder Mastery. And those of you who are familiar with Leah's work will know that Leah is our resident maestro of street photography. And so I am with her today to learn a few things and work on a unique challenge this month, which is called creative constraints. Basically, the idea with creative constraints is that we put some limitations on ourselves, and that sort of helps us just get started and helps us actually jumpstart our creativity in a way. So the idea here today is Leah's working on a creative constraint of her own, and that is
anonymity.
Anonymity.
So I'm going to try to walk around and find strange people, well, not strange people, just strangers with strange things covering their faces.
Oh wow, okay. Now that is a challenge for sure. I'm going to work on something slightly different. I am basically going to pretend today that I'm photographing with my dream camera, which is a Hasselblad SWC 903. And I'll put a picture of that camera on screen right now. It's a very obscure and very old Hasselblad camera that basically shoots black and white and only in square format. So that's something that I don't do very often myself. So I thought it'd be kind of a fun creative constraint to work on. The idea is basically just to, think about what we're shooting before we actually get out in the field and start clicking away, to give ourselves a little bit of direction, for lack of a better description. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to set up my camera now with that square black and white format. And Leah, do you have any tips for us as we kick off our shoot here?
Well, street photography, I always use the tip of turning off my shutter noise, so people can't really see that I'm coming up near them.
You like to sneak up on people.
Stealthy.
Okay.
And my other tip is to shoot from the hip. If you don't want to get too close to people, you can just kind of walk by nonchalantly and shoot away, and you'll probably get some keepers.
Very cool. Okay, staying incognito is kind of a crucial part of street photography, I guess. Without further ado here, we're going to get our cameras set up, and I'm going to tail Leah around town, and we're going to get creative.
I'm excited. Let's do it.
Yeah, perfect. Here we go. There, aspect ratio.
Got it.
My first step in this process was figuring out how to set my camera up so that it actually mimics the SWC 903. So to do that, I needed to set my aspect ratio to 1:1, so I get the square image format, and of course set the picture profile to black and white. And to make my own challenge a little bit more interesting, I'm going to tape my zoom lens in place at 21 millimeters, because this is the closest representation of the fixed lens that comes on the old Hasselblad SWC 903. Okay, so I'm all set to go, but actually what I want to find out is what Leah is actually on the lookout for as she photographs anonymity.
So I am looking for peculiar, weird objects. Not like an ugly sign or like something you'd see every day to cover someone's face, something really happenstance, like maybe someone's popping out an umbrella or opening a newspaper in front of their face. So we're on the lookout. It's very tough.
One of the very first things that impressed me about the way Leah shoots is that she's just constantly pointing her camera at different subjects. She doesn't even second guess herself, she just walks right up, frames up the shot, takes it, and doesn't think twice.
So I'm trying to use this moped mirror to possibly cover someone's face as they're approaching me. But it's really hard because now I'm having to fiddle with the aperture to make sure I get everything in focus because I'm quite close up.
One thing's for sure, and that is that street photography will really test your boldness when it comes to pointing your camera at strangers in public. Not only that, but you've got to compose really quickly and respond to opportunities that just pop up and are gone in an instant. As I followed Leah around taking my square black and white 21mm Hasselblad shots, I started to realize that I was missing a lot of cool moments just by fiddling around with my camera settings. So eventually I just decided to leave the camera in aperture priority mode at f6.3 and just focus on capturing moments rather than having the perfect settings for every shot.
So this is cool because I can use the back of somebody's head to cover another person's face. It's kind of a cool technique. No, they caught on to me as I left the stairs, which is fine. They gave me a little smile. Sometimes you're not so lucky though. I've had people approach me and get kind of angry, but it's just part of the business on the street.
That's very true, and even though we have every right to be out and about photographing in the public space, there are going to be certain people who just don't want to have their picture taken, and that's okay. Our best suggestion in those cases is to not make an issue out of it and just move on and find another subject.
So I get really excited when I walk into a really busy area of town and there's a ton of people around. I tend to just start shooting from the hip like mad, and I just hold it down low and just rapid fire away while I'm walking. And a lot of times when you get home to your computer and look at all your shots, you can get really lucky because you might have caught someone's hand brushing in front of someone's face or some other element that you didn't even think about in the moment. It's very cool. It's a lucky shot.
I wanted to practice shooting from the hip myself, so as Leah returned to her anonymity task, I started looking for a situation where I could apply this incognito method of capturing a candid moment on the street without even looking through my camera. Speaking of incognito photography, take notice of this woman who's standing in her shop doorway before Leah lays down this next tip.
So whenever there's a door frame or a doorway, I'm always curious if there's someone standing in there. You can move yourself around to get the perfect shot if you're trying to conceal some part of their body, or this is a great example right here. So I saw the birds down there, and for anonymity, I thought it would be perfect if one of the birds would have flown in front of someone's faces, but I don't think I was that lucky today. Sometimes you just have to stand there and wait until you get the perfect shot. So after a long time out shooting in the city, you can tend to lose your momentum. You get kind of frustrated if you're out looking for something really particular and it's not hitting you. In those cases, I just throw caution to the wind. Go to a busy place like here in Prada Platz where there's a ton of colorful characters and just shoot. Just walk around and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid if people approach you. Just walk around. Shoot from the hip if you're not comfortable. You're going to be super surprised when you get home and look at all your files on the computer, I promise. Amazing, this ladder, it's come back, it's my friend. So walking around town today, guys, I figured out that I picked a really difficult constraint for myself, and there were times I got super frustrated walking around looking for weird objects. Sometimes you don't find anything. You just have to get creative and stick to it. Just keep going. Matt, how did you end up with your creative constraint?
Oh, good question. Well, I definitely enjoyed shooting with my Hasselblad SWC 903. I had a lot of fun working with just the general constraint of shooting square and shooting in black and white. And I did get some shots that I'm pretty happy with.
It's been the best. I love it.
So that was just a part of one of our fun monthly photo assignments that we send out to our amazing members at viewfindermastery.com. And if you want to be challenged by fun monthly photo assignments, then come and check us out and join our membership. You'll get valuable professional feedback from our team, plus you'll get access to our entire library of quality online courses. So join us to have fun, to be challenged, and to get feedback on your work and to learn from the team at Viewfinder Mastery. Thanks for watching, and we will see you over at viewfindermastery.com.